Ladies and gentlemen, the silence is over, and the war just got louder. After weeks of back-and-forth tension, deleted posts, and viral leaks, King Von's mom has officially struck back in a move no one saw coming. Court insiders have confirmed that she's filed a brand new $15 million claim against Lil Durk, accusing him of profiting off her son's legacy while emotionally manipulating the narrative. In simple terms, she's saying Durk used grief as a business strategy. Social media is losing its mind. Fans are calling this the biggest hip-hop lawsuit of the decade. Some are saying it's revenge for Durk's legal team, calling her earlier $8 million lawsuit frivolous, while others believe it's her way of forcing the truth into the light once and for all. And if what her lawyers are saying is even half true, then this case isn't about money. It's about exposing an entire system built on loyalty, loss, and lies. But here's where things get even crazier. According to leaked documents, this new lawsuit includes something explosive: previously unreleased communications between Lil Durk and King Von before Von's death. If that's real, it could destroy everything Durk's team has tried to protect. The rap world's about to watch the truth go on trial, and nobody's walking away clean. The courthouse in Cook County hadn't seen this kind of attention in years. Reporters, fans, and bloggers all crowded outside, waiting for what many were calling round two of the biggest legal battle hip-hop has ever witnessed. King Von's mum, standing tall and composed, walked through the chaos surrounded by her legal team, not saying a word. The flash of cameras lit up her face like lightning. To everyone watching, this wasn't just another lawsuit, this was personal. 3 weeks after Lil Durk's lawyers publicly dismissed her $8 million lawsuit as emotionally motivated, Tasha came back with something that changed the entire narrative. Court filings revealed a $15 million claim that didn't just demand damages but also accused Durk and his label of profiting off trauma, of using King Von's name, image, and legacy to generate millions in streams, merchandise, and brand deals without proper authorization. At first, people thought it was another headline grab. But when documents labeled newly uncovered communications were mentioned, the internet went wild. According to her attorney, these communications included text exchanges, financial records, and personal messages between Durk and Von. Proof, she said, that Durk was aware of how Von's image was being used posthumously and allowed it to continue for profit. The moment the news dropped, social media imploded. Hashtags like Durk lawsuit, justice for Von, and 15 million claim flooded every timeline. Within hours, bloggers from Atlanta to Los Angeles started weighing in. One Chicago outlet called it the reckoning nobody wanted but everyone saw coming. Then came the twist. Candidly, Cassie dropped an exclusive segment that night titled, "The Evidence They Don't Want You to See." In the video, Cassie claimed to have spoken to a direct source inside the legal team who confirmed that King Von's mom wasn't bluffing. This time, Cassie said, her tone low and sharp, she's not just fighting for money, she's fighting for her son's name. And she brought the receipts. The clip went viral immediately. Over 5 million views in 12 hours. People started pulling old interviews, analyzing every lyric Lil Durk ever wrote about King Von, searching for signs of guilt or confession. Even hip-hop forums that had gone quiet reignited with speculation. One comment stood out: if she really got the messages, Durk better pray they don't make it public. Meanwhile, Lil Durk's camp stayed eerily silent. No posts, no tweets, no denials, just silence, and that made it worse. Because in this era, silence means guilt to fans. But the silence broke when a video surfaced late one night. A shaky cell phone clip of a heated exchange between Durk and his attorney outside a studio in LA. You couldn't hear everything, but one line cut through the noise. Durk shouted, "I told you to delete all that!" Fans paused, replayed, analyzed. What was all that? And was it connected to what King Von's mom had filed in court? Within hours, the clip was trending at #1 on X. Thousands of fans flooded the comments saying Durk had just accidentally confirmed the existence of those private communications. Some even slowed the audio down and claimed you could hear him say Von's name in the background. But it didn't stop there. Another leak surfaced, This time, a supposed email exchange between Durk's manager and a merchandise distributor dated just weeks after King Von's death. In it, they discussed a new clothing drop labeled "Long Live Von." The disturbing part? One line allegedly read, "The rollout will hit harder if we tie it to Durk's next single." It didn't take long for people to connect the dots. Tasha's claim wasn't just about emotional pain. It was about profit, timing, and exploitation. And for the first time, the narrative started to shift against Durk. Even fans who had defended him for years began asking hard questions. One viral post on Instagram summed it up perfectly. You can't mourn a man and market him at the same time. As tensions rose online, King Von's mom finally spoke publicly for the first time since filing the new claim. Standing outside the courthouse, she faced the cameras and said, "I don't want fame. I don't want clout. I just want what's right for my son." Her voice cracked midway through, but she didn't back down. "They said I was chasing money. No, I'm chasing the truth." Those words hit harder than any diss track. Overnight, the tone of the coverage changed. What started as a celebrity feud was now being framed as a mother's fight for justice. Say Cheese TV hosted a live stream the next day, bringing in lawyers, analysts, and even Chicago locals to weigh in. One of the panelists, a retired industry executive, dropped a bombshell during the discussion. If those records she's talking about really exist, this could open up a whole new legal front, not just for Durk, but for how record labels handle posthumous profits. Fans flooded the chat, typing, "This is bigger than Durk." Meanwhile, whispers began circulating that Durk's legal team had tried to reach out privately for a settlement before things went public. Allegedly, they offered to resolve the situation quietly if Tasha agreed not to release any evidence. She refused. According to her lawyer, they had their chance to do right the first time. Now we'll do it in court. The move shocked everyone. For the first time, it felt like Lil Durk, usually calm, composed, and media savvy, was losing control of the narrative. His fan base was splintering, the blogs were circling, and his name was no longer trending for music. It was trending for scandal. By the end of the week, the internet had turned into a courtroom. Fans were posting side-by-side clips, dissecting every word Durk said about Von, comparing old tweets, even counting how many times he mentioned Von in his songs since the tragedy. Every lyric became potential evidence, every silence became suspicion, and then, just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, someone claimed to have the missing messages themselves. The internet didn't wait for confirmation. It detonated. An anonymous Twitter account named AOTF Receipts posted a series of blurred screenshots claiming to be from Lil Durk's phone. The post caption read, "Since y'all keep protecting lies, let's show the truth they've been hiding." The images were grainy, but fans immediately started decoding them. You could make out timestamps, short messages, and one line that made the world stop. Von, if something happens, don't let them use my name. Durk, trust me, it's all love. You know what's coming? That one exchange sent the internet into meltdown. Within hours, millions of people were convinced it was real. It didn't matter that no one could verify it. It felt real. And in this age, that's all it took. Say Cheese TV reposted the screenshots within minutes, captioning them, "Did Lil Durk just get exposed by his own messages?" Over 2 million views in 6 hours. The post's comments turned into a war zone, half defending Durk, half demanding accountability. But the chaos didn't stop there. A YouTuber known for breaking down court cases, DJ Academics, went live with a shocking claim of his own. "I got people in Chicago sending me stuff right now," he said. "This ain't no random leak. Someone close to Durk's camp flipped. That's why this new claim got filed." He wasn't wrong. Behind the scenes, insiders close to the case confirmed that King Von's mom's legal team had obtained encrypted files allegedly pulled from a cloud backup linked to Durk's business phone. These files, according to her attorney, contained direct proof of coordination between Durk's label and merchandising partners over how King Von's image was used posthumously, including discussions of profit, margins, and marketing schedules. The details were chilling. In one alleged email chain, a marketing manager reportedly wrote, "If we drop the collection next Friday and tie it to Durk's upcoming single, projections show a 30% boost." Another reply said, "Von's name moves units. Keep that momentum alive." The internet went nuclear. Even Durk's most loyal fans were stunned. Screenshots flooded Reddit, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. People were calling for boycotts. Others were defending him, saying every artist honors their lost friends through business. But the damage was already done. Then, Candidly Cassie went live again. This time, her tone was more serious than ever. "You don't need to be a legal expert to see what's happening," she said. "If these files are authenticated, Durk isn't just facing a lawsuit, he could be facing a criminal investigation." Her statement sparked a media frenzy. News outlets started reaching out to Chicago law enforcement for confirmation. While police didn't comment, a local reporter tweeted, "Can confirm an inquiry has been opened following the recent court filings." That single tweet had over 50,000 retweets in 2 hours. At this point, Lil Durk had gone completely dark. No social media posts, no interviews, no sightings. It was the quietest he'd been in years, and the silence was deafening. Fans started showing up to his concerts holding signs that read, "Speak up, Durk," and "Where's the truth?" Meanwhile, King Von's mom, now a household name in her own right, started receiving death threats online. Her lawyer released a statement saying, "This is not about tearing anyone down. It's about justice. No mother should have to fight for her son's dignity after death." That single line hit every major blog. It shifted public sentiment once again. People began seeing her not as a grieving parent causing drama, but as a woman standing up against a machine bigger than herself. But behind the sympathy was a darker truth. This case was exposing things the industry had buried for years. Reports began surfacing that multiple record labels were now quietly reviewing how they handled posthumous projects. Artists like Pop Smoke and Juice WRLD were being mentioned in online discussions about exploitation after death. This wasn't just about Lil Durk anymore. It was about a system. Still, the focus always came back to him, especially after someone leaked what looked like a recorded call between Durk and his label executive. The audio was muffled but clear enough to make out a few explosive lines. Executive: "It's business, Durk. You know how this works." Durk: "But this ain't right. That's my brother." Executive: "Then act like it, and don't talk." The internet collectively gasped. That one recording seemed to confirm everything Tasha's lawsuit was built on. That Durk wasn't acting alone. That there was pressure from above to keep the money flowing. But what happened next shocked everyone. That night, Lil Durk finally broke his silence. Not through a post, not through an interview, but through a leaked voicemail that sounded raw, broken, and angry. "Y'all want the truth?" he said. "They used me too. They used him, now they're using me." Fans didn't know what to believe anymore. Was he confessing? Was he breaking down? Or was it another layer in an already tangled story? The voicemail spread like wildfire. Say cheese, no jumper, Candidly Cassie, academics. Every outlet ran with it. Analysts said it sounded like a man trapped between guilt and manipulation. Some fans called it proof that Durk was a victim of the industry machine. Others said it was emotional damage control. But then in a shocking twist, King Von's mom's legal team announced they had filed a motion to subpoena Durk's label for communications and financial records. That meant the court was officially involved. No more speculation. No more social media theories. Real consequences were coming. The very next morning, Lil Durk's legal team responded publicly for the first time. In a short but fiery statement, they said, "We categorically deny the claims made in this new filing. Our client has always honored King Von's memory and legacy with respect, both personally and professionally. These allegations are not only false, they're defamatory." The world split in two once again. Some fans stood by Durk, flooding his comments with messages like "Stay strong, bro," and "They trying to take you down." Others sided with King Von's mom, saying she was finally giving a voice to the voiceless. And then came one more leak, the one that might change everything forever. Hours after the court audio leak, Lil Durk vanished from social media. No tweets, no Instagram stories, no sightings from his entourage. Fans started panicking. Rumors flew everywhere. Some said he'd gone into hiding. Others claimed he was preparing an emergency press conference. But the truth hit harder than anyone expected. 2 days later, Durk reappeared, not online, but outside a Chicago courthouse. He wasn't there to testify or defend himself. He was there to file his own countersuit. Reporters swarmed him as he exited the building with his attorney, looking calm but visibly exhausted. When a journalist asked if he had a message for King Von's mom, he stopped, looked directly into the camera and said, "I ain't the villain in this story, but I ain't no saint either." Those 10 words broke the internet again. Moments later, official documents hit the press. Lil Durk's legal team had filed a defamation and emotional distress claim against Tasha, alleging that her accusations had damaged his reputation. Business partnerships and personal safety. The amount? $20 million. The crowd outside the courthouse went wild. This wasn't just a legal case anymore. It was war. Candidly, Cassie dropped a video that same afternoon titled, "Durk Strikes Back. $20 million counterclaim shocks hip-hop." Her voice trembled as she said, "This is bigger than a lawsuit now. This is grief turned into a battlefield. Both sides are playing for legacy, not just money." And she wasn't wrong. Inside court filings, Durk's lawyers claimed that the so-called evidence from King Von's mom had been digitally manipulated. They presented metadata analysis that supposedly showed time discrepancies in the text messages and email chains that had gone viral. According to them, the screenshots were tampered with to frame Durk as complicit. But before the dust could settle, a new twist hit social media, one that neither side saw coming. A leaked video surfaced from a label executive's phone, showing a private conversation from early 2021, months after King Von's passing. In the footage, Durk is sitting in a boardroom, visibly emotional, saying, "If we gon' do this, we gotta make sure Von's people get their cut. I don't want no blood money on my name." That line changed everything. For the first time, public opinion began to swing back in Durk's favor. Fans flooded timelines with messages like, "He was trying to do right," and "Y'all crucified him for nothing." Even critics who'd been silent started admitting that maybe the story wasn't as black and white as it seemed. Meanwhile, Tasha doubled down. Through her attorney, she released a statement saying, "Intentions don't erase exploitation. You can't make peace while still profiting." The tension was unbearable. The next court session was unlike anything anyone had seen. Fans gathered outside with posters reading "Justice for Von," while others held "Free Durk" signs. Two fan bases collided in real time, divided by loyalty, united by grief. Inside, Durk reportedly refused to speak, letting his legal team handle everything. But those present in the courtroom described his demeanor as broken but defiant. When Tasha entered, witnesses said she didn't look at him once. The hearing lasted 5 hours. No verdict, no resolution, just raw emotion and chaos. Both sides left separately, no cameras, no statements. But later that evening, an insider leaked something unexpected. The judge had privately urged both parties to seek mediation, saying this battle was tearing apart more than just two people. It's dividing an entire community. That message hit deep. For the next week, everything went silent again. No posts, no leaks, no headlines. Fans grew restless. But then, one morning, Lil Durk broke the silence. He uploaded a single post to Instagram, a photo of King Von's mural at sunrise with the caption, "This the last time I speak on it. I hope he is proud of me." No words could describe how fast that image spread. Over 10 million likes in under an hour. The comments were flooded with peace signs, broken hearts, and quotes from Von's songs. Even King Von's mom, who had avoided mentioning Durk for weeks, finally responded indirectly. On her Facebook, she wrote, "Time doesn't heal everything, but it tells the truth." The industry froze. That one post felt like the closing chapter to a saga that had consumed hip-hop for months. And then, out of nowhere, Say Cheese TV dropped a final bombshell. In an exclusive report, they revealed that both legal teams were negotiating a confidential settlement, one that would ensure King Von's family received compensation and Lil Durk's name was cleared of defamation charges. The deal was labeled "in progress," but neither side denied it. The internet sighed in relief. The war was ending, at least in public. But even as fans celebrated the truce, whispers continued to spread. Some claimed Durk had quietly agreed to donate a portion of future album proceeds to a fund in Von's name. Others said Tasha had been offered a private apology, recorded off camera to finally lay her son's story to rest. No one knew what was true. But one thing was certain. This was the most emotional, explosive chapter in modern rap history. And somewhere in the middle of that storm stood two people, connected forever by loss, loyalty, and the price of truth. Lil Durk once said in an old interview, "Pain makes you famous, but it also makes you lonely." Now, those words feel hauntingly prophetic. The lawsuits may fade, the headlines may slow down, but the questions, the grief, and the silence between beats will echo forever. Because in this story, there were no winners, just lessons written in pain. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the saga that began as a lawsuit turned into one of the most emotional wars the hip-hop world has ever seen. What started as a $15 million claim ended up exposing pain, loyalty, greed, and grief in its rawest form. King Von's mom stood for truth, Lil Durk fought for his name, and somewhere in the chaos, the real story got buried under noise, fame, and heartbreak. But now the question falls on you. Who do you believe walked away with the truth? Was Tasha right for fighting back? Or was Lil Durk defending himself from being destroyed by grief and public opinion? Is this the end of a painful chapter? Or just the calm before something even darker surfaces? Tell us what you think in the comments below. Do you believe the settlement rumors are real? Or is another storm brewing behind closed doors? We want to hear every theory, every thought, every truth you think still hasn't come out. Make sure you hit like, smash that subscribe button, and turn on notifications, because this story isn't over yet. Not by a long shot. This is Spillora, where the streets talk. The pain bleeds slowly, and the truth never sleeps.